Sandy, what's Zack's schedule now going forward?
Zack is going to pitch a simulated inning in about a week to 8 days. He'll do so with the Gulf Coast League team in a sim game. So I would expect that early next week he'll throw that first inning.
And that doesn't start the rehab clock, you say, because it's just a simulated game?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still eyeing right after the All-Star break for him?
I think that makes the most sense. Again, the last time we talked, I think that we were still talking July 1, but I said that there wasn't a lot of fat in that schedule. And, based on everything that Zack has experienced over the last few weeks, we just decided it wasn't worth it to push it to the first of the month, and given the All-Star break, it probably made sense to get him here, or get him ready for, roughly post All-Star.
And Terry had mentioned on Sunday Travis as maybe 7 or 8 days away, which would be like Monday of next week. Is that realistic, or is that kind of where you're looking?
Well, we're off on Monday of next week, but it would probably, right now I think we're shooting for Tuesday, which would include a trip to Vegas. But he'll stay in St. Lucie for probably a couple more days at least, and then he may end up in Vegas, and then we're shooting for early next week.
Acquired Uribe last year. I think you noted that you need a placeholder for David, but you were eyeing David coming back. You're still treating anything you're looking for as something that you're going to have David back, so it's got to be a shorter-term thing that you can't kind of get locked in too much.
Well, David's situation is a little bit fluid right now. There's no question that going into spring training and into the first part of the regular season, we were hedging the situation at third base, or attempting to, and certainly, in acquiring someone like Kelly Johnson, recognizing that we needed a further hedge. The difficulty with finding a full-time replacement is the uncertainty surrounding David, but secondly is availability.
Sandy, is there any update just kind of on David? Is he just out with Dr. Wheeler?
Yeah, so David is still in Los Angeles, and I would expect that we will have some resolution of his situation in the next 2 or 3 days, and by that I mean exactly what the next step is, and whether that continues, whether that is the rehab as originally contemplated or something else. So I would expect that by the end of this week, we'll know something more about David's situation.
What are the options?
Well, they're the two options that always exist, conservative rehab or surgery. I think those are always the options with respect to any injury almost, whether it's a back or a wrist or what have you.
So Dr. Watkins is consulting on whether surgery might be necessary sooner than later?
Yes, with doctors here in New York.
Would that be the kind of thing that would be season-ending if you needed it?
We don't know that, and again, that's speculation based on an option that he hasn't even chosen at this point, or hasn't been agreed upon. So,
do you see what the team is going through offensively now as in better shape than last year, or very similar?
I think the deficiencies are similar. The question is whether we're better positioned to overcome them, and I'd like to say yes, in the sense that we have a little more major league caliber depth than we had, but we've gone through a lot of that. I think the other thing that may be different is that I think we're a little more cognizant of the need for that experience, and therefore have been a little more proactive. I think we've demonstrated that over the last few weeks, and we'll try to be proactive as we go forward, depending on what's available to us.